Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Just giving everyone some time to get in. Started a little late today. As they say, better late than never. Good evening. Hi. Buenas, buenas. Trying to see how I share this around, but you know, Facebook be liking to make la vida difícil. Share to the group. Hi, I'm doing well. Hope you're doing good. Nice to see you. What's up? Hi, love. Hey, what's up, cuz? Hope you're doing good. So today, what? Yeah, that's awesome, cuz. Today, what I wanted to discuss was basically like pride, confidence, and jealousy, and arrogance. Zelma, ¿cómo está? Oh yeah, definitely, cousin. Let me know when you get home, so I can come check you out. Today I wanted to discuss pride, jealousy, arrogance, and confidence. So, most deaf. So, what I wanted to discuss was a lot of people who lack confidence see confidence like arrogance. Exactly what I was about to say, Lex Lord. A lot of people who lack confidence see confidence as if it's arrogance. And it's simply really the fact that they lack confidence. A lot of people think, so this doesn't happen so much amongst the American brujeria circles, but it does happen amongst the Dominican brujeria circles, where they're like, oh, that person has a lot of jewelry, that person has a nice house, that person has a nice car, they think they're better than me. That's not the case. There's a very subtle difference between pride and confidence, or arrogance and confidence. Hi, Goddess Mother. There's a very, very subtle difference. And I get accused of being arrogant all the time. And I understand, because I am super confident, that I'm going to be accused of being arrogant. because a lot of people lack self-confidence. In fact, it's one of the most common things that people lack. And so whenever they meet or see someone who is confident, they immediately say that person is proudful or arrogant. And really what they're trying to do is they're trying to humble the other person. Hi, Gabriela. They're trying to humble the other person. But me, I'm not so humbled so easily. So a lot of people who lack self-confidence will view anyone who's confident as being arrogant. You know, this light that I have is making me look really yellow. I'm going to see if I can adjust that so I don't look so gray. Okay, there I go. Hopefully that improves the situation. So the difference between arrogance and confidence is really, really subtle. Yeah, it's very, very subtle. Why? Because confidence comes from the inside out. Arrogance comes from the outside in. And so they can be very easily confused for each other. Ay, buenas, hermanita. Okay? It is disrespectful, like Mambo J mentioned, Anaisa had told her, it's disrespectful to the misterios to shrink yourself down because people try to humble you. Now, the difference between confidence and arrogance is, confidence is, I'm strong within myself. Confidence says, I'm not better than you because of what I have. I'm not better than you at all. I don't look at things or as people in a compare and contrast type of way. Okay? Arrogance is, I'm better than you because I have this, I've achieved this, I'm intellectual in this, I know this, I have that, etc. Arrogance comes from the outside in, meaning what makes those people arrogant is that they have more and they believe by having more they somehow are better than other people. Whereas when someone is confident, they're not in the compare and contrast world. They're not comparing themselves to other people. And they don't think less of someone simply because someone may have less material things around them. Okay? Okay? They don't think, oh, I'm more educated and therefore I'm better. I have this versus that, so therefore I'm better. So a lot of people, I see it all the time, especially in the Hispanic communities, not so much in the American communities in this way, but it manifests differently. Amongst, and I'm going to do this live probably again in Spanish, amongst a lot of Dominican practitioners, right, they think that brujos should not have nothing. They think that, oh, if a brujo has jewelry, if a brujo has a nice car, if a brujo has a house, that he's being arrogant. That's not the case. Arrogance comes when the brujo says, I'm better than you because I have these things. That's arrogance. Everybody makes their money, and everybody spends their money how they see fit. When we see a lawyer driving a nice car, we don't complain about the lawyer. We don't be like, oh, the lawyer thinks he's top shit because he's driving a Lexus and he thinks he's better than everybody. No. When the lawyer makes his money, nobody is sitting there picking apart how he spends his money. Everybody spends their money in the way that they, on what they think is important to them, what's important to them. No one counts anybody else's coins in the world, but somehow in our communities y'all have a very twisted mindset that's mixed up with the remnants of Christianity and Catholicism. Vodou, the 21 divisions, does not teach poverty, does not teach to go without. That's not. Metrezili is covered. She's covered in jewels. She's decked. Anaisa be having all the perfumes from here to Connecticut. Okay? Even Chango is known for his jewelry. Okay? The Misterios do not promote for us to be living dragged through life. That is not how it works. The Misterios don't promote, like, basically the brujo living like crap. I've said it before, I say it again. I'm very much an advocate for brujos, okay? I want to see brujos be elevated because brujos are kings and queens in la tierra, as we say, on earth. Whether or not you can recognize that or not, that's your problem. The same thing. A lot of people complain about how much or how little different brujos charge. If you go to Harvard Medical School, you're not going to pay the same that you're going to pay around here at the county college. It is what it is. The brujos charge what they think they are worth. If a brujo charges $50 on something and another brujo does the same job and charges $3,000, that has to do with the brujo. That's up to the brujo and his or her misterios and how they have that worked out. If the $50 job works for you and the $3,000 job works for you, it really doesn't matter so long as you got the intended result that you were trying to get. Right? But unfortunately, a lot of people, they like to spend a lot of time criticizing brujos. And you criticizing brujos based on Christian mindsets, based on Christian ideologies, which is not what Vodou or La 21 Divisiones promote. Okay? We do not promote poverty as a way to God. Okay? In fact, our traditions are about helping you live a great life. And so, of course, the Misterios want their brujos to live very well. Of course, if you have spirits, you have spirit guides, you have Misterios, you have, as we say, cualquier ángel o diablo que tú tenga, right? If you're dealing with it correctly, they want to support you. They want to see you live a great life. It does not mean that you're not going to have your challenges. Trust and believe you are going to have challenges. So there will never be any lack of challenges. Let me put on my glasses here to see what y'all been saying here. Hey, Luis. Yeah, so, yeah, Goddess Mother. A lot of people have this idea that brujos should be sitting around here bummy and hungry. When I was growing up, I would see brujos that would be working in the altar from 10 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night doing charity for people, and then at the end of the night trying to, like, basically scrap things together in order to make some food. That makes no sense, absolutely whatsoever. Okay? A lot of people have this issue of spending money on themselves and they feel guilty. For Natasha, this is very common. I used to have this same issue, and Anaisa told me long time ago, and little by little I moved out of that issue. And that issue is, you have no problem spending that money on someone else, so why would you not spend it on yourself? If you have no problem buying someone a $300 watch, then why is it okay for you to buy it for them and it's not okay for you to buy it for you, especially if you made the money to buy the watch? Okay? Yes, our growth is meant to balance both material and spiritual. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people will say, oh, the brujos, like they're putting on a show. No, at least no brujo that I know is gonna spend a whole bunch of money to put on some grand show. Okay? Yeah, so the lens of insecurity, that's very true. Confidence is always mistaken for arrogance. Everything's a competition. I agree there with that whole statement made by Anomalous. Yeah, the price is the price, and that's what we do. Hey, Lewis. Hi, Juju. Absolutely, Natasha. Okay. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Someone says it's exhausting. I just started a new podcast and someone is reporting it. There's a lot of hateful people in this spiritual realm. It's because a lot of them are what we call los miserables, the miserable people. There's a lot of people in a lot of misery. And a lot of people don't understand the level of sacrificio or sacrifice that most of us do in order to do everything that we do. Look at me, right? I'm here with y'all right now. As you can see, I'm in my ceremonial clothes. I'm getting ready to do a ceremony. Like, we make tons of sacrifices on the regular, which is why we get rewarded the way that we do. A lot of people spend their whole life wasted in competition, sitting around here comparing and contrasting themselves to other people. Bendiciones. Right? They're saying, oh, why does so and so have this? Why so and so has that and I don't have? Because so and so made the sacrifice to have this or to have that or to have this. Okay? And so you took your money and you ate your money. You spent your money on food, you spent your money on shoes, and maybe so and so spent their money on the car. So now the food, you ate it, you shit it out, you can't see it no more. But the car you can still see. So now you're complaining, oh, so and so has this beautiful car and I don't have a beautiful car. Why do they have a car and I don't have a car? Because you ate your money. A lot of people eat their money. And when I say eat your money, I literally mean eat your money. I mean, you go out to eat every day, you eat out all the time, you constantly going out for drinks and all this stuff, so you eat your money. And so you piss your money away, you shit your money away, and the next day there's nothing to show for it, because even the toilet got flushed, and then you're complaining about what the next man has or what the next man doesn't have. Okay? When I purchased my first house, I believe it was like 6 years. For 6 years I saved my money. I didn't spend no money excessively. I kept everything on the cheap. We didn't go out to eat like that. We weren't out and about in the street like that. We didn't wear fancy clothing or anything like that, because my goal was to save a certain amount for a house. If during that time, a lot of my friends, a lot of people around me, they were eating their money. They were going to bars with their money. Their money was going down the drain. A lot of people around me that I knew would have made their money way easier. They would go to work, they'd make money hand over foot and have nothing to show for it. And then later on they're like, oh, congratulations, oh, that came so easy to you, etc., etc. Nothing in the world comes easy. Nothing in the world is free. The only thing that's free is death. That's the only free thing. And even for that you pay life. So nothing in the world is easy, nothing in the world is free. But a lot of people like to sit in this space of compare and contrast. When a person is comparing and contrasting themselves with other people, it immediately tells you that they lack personal respect, self-respect, and self-value, as well as self-confidence. A confident person doesn't compare themselves or contrast themselves to other people. They don't need to. This is not a competition. Okay? Like I always say to all my God kids, today you can be over the moon, you can have everything, and tomorrow it could get all taken away from you. So if your sense of pride and confidence comes from everything that you have, you don't have any pride and you don't have any confidence, because tomorrow anything can happen to you and everything can be ripped away from you. It reminds me of the story of one of my godchildren. One of my godchildren, his grandfather was a millionaire in Bangladesh. But at some point in Bangladesh, they did a thing where they kicked out anybody who wasn't Muslim. And they seized everyone's assets. Anyone who left the country, their assets got seized. So they went from being a millionaire one day to basically overnight becoming super poor, because the source of that person's grandfather's pride was his stuff. He lost his mind. He lost his mind because now all of his value was in his things. So me, I never say I'm too good. I never say, we have a saying, yo nunca digo que de esa agua no beberá. I'll never say that I won't drink from that pool of water, because anything can happen. The world is an amazing place like that. The same way, you can be on the floor today, and with the misterios, tomorrow you could end up flying. You could be over top of the world. That's the way the world works, which is why you need to have a source for personal confidence that is not what you have, what you own, what items that you have. A lot of people put a lot of attention on what items do you have. You could have a brand new Aston Martin, a brand new Lexus today, and tomorrow, gone. You can get in such a car accident, it's gone. And tomorrow, guess what? Your insurance happened to lapse, and guess what? No car. Okay? So if you carry that thinking that that makes you better than other people, what's going to happen to you when that car is gone? You're going to be in the shit. You're going to feel like shit. If you have true confidence, you're like, oh, I'll just get me another one when I can. Eventually another one will come. Fuck it. I don't even need it. I'll find a way. That's the big difference between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance says, I'm better than everybody because I have more than everybody. Confidence says, I'm not better than anyone, but I'm not worse than anyone. I have strength within myself. And that strength doesn't come from what I have. It comes from me knowing who I am. Okay? My stuff doesn't make me or break me. Look, I have a house. When I die, someone else is going to live in this house. Someone else is going to take it over. And maybe it might be my kids. But maybe after then, it might not. In 100 years from now, it's likely that this house may not even be here. Having things does not make you better or worse than anybody. Some of the best people I've met have the fewest things, because suffering is the sandpaper of character. Suffering helps create good character. It's unfortunate, but it's true, because people have no other way of learning unless they suffer. Okay? So when People think that, oh, you have this, anything can get taken from you. Yeah, immediately. And another thing that happens with envy, jealous people, right? They'll be like, oh, you bought your little house. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, you buy your little house. They'll try to minimize your accomplishments, right? A lot of times people start drama on that Cain and Abel shit and have problems with people with different gifts. Again, it's all about lacking the strength and self and lacking confidence and strength in their own capacities. Everybody who does this thing, everybody who does their brujeria, anyone who's involved in these things, everyone is different. Everyone comes for a different purpose. Everyone comes to do a different thing. Everyone comes with a different capacity. Because of that, we all come to help in our own way, and there's going to be certain things that some of you might be able to do that I might not be able to do. And there's going to be other things that I'm going to be able to do that you're not going to be able to do. Okay? Hi, Red. Right? And a lot of people who are very stuck in the ego and the material world somehow believe that somehow what they have adds value to them. And I always say this to all my godchildren. Okay? I've been broke before, but I've never been poor. Okay? Hi, Bonnie. Okay? I've been broke before, but I've never been poor. Because poor is the nature of your spirit and of your character. Right? You can have a poor character. You can have a poor nature in your spirit. Poor means you lack that self-confidence. It means you lack self-esteem, you lack self-worth, you lack self-value. So I've been broke before and I was never worried. Never. You know why? Because I have misterios. What the hell you think? They're going to figure me out. I'm going to figure me out. And because I had that self-esteem, that confidence, and that strength in myself, I've never been poor. But I also never had too much pride to ask for help if I needed it, if I really needed it. But I'm also that type of person that I'm going to look for every which way that I can to help myself before I put myself on anyone else. So I'm going to do everything in my power to do it myself before I go looking at someone else asking them to carry my load. That's my nature. And so because of that, I've never been poor. I've been broke but never poor. Okay? Yeah. Absolutely, Trip. Okay? And a lot of people don't realize, okay, is a lot of people, they say to other people, oh, you should be more appreciative of your life because you have more. That's a misery mentality. So in order for you to be happy, you have to know that someone's doing worse than you. That's the mentality of a miserable person. That's a misery mentality. It's a good teaching tool for children. It's a good teaching tool for children to understand gratitude. But eventually someone should mature that in order for you to feel good about your life, you don't have to know that someone's doing worse than you. But there's a great deal of people who are stuck in ego, who are stuck in competition, that in order for them to feel good, they need to know that someone else is doing worse than them. Okay? So that means that your joy comes from other people's misery. That's a miserable mentality. Like I said, it's a teaching tool. In order for children to understand gratitude, good. But eventually there's something called adulthood and maturity. And so you should be able to be happy for yourself even when someone else is doing better than you. You should be able to be grateful for your life when someone's doing better than you. When someone's doing better than me, I'm happy for them. I'm like, great, that's for you, that's your thing. Do your thing, 21. Do your thing, 21. Like, kill it. Okay? And either I'm going to maybe learn a little something from them, or I'm going to keep on doing my thing. I don't care what you're doing. Your life is your life. My life is mine. Okay? I don't need to have someone else be miserable in order for me to be happy. That makes no sense whatsoever. Only a miserable person thinks that way. When someone else is miserable, I'm happy. If I know someone else is doing worse than me, I feel more grateful about my life. What the hell is up with that? If you need someone else to be miserable in order for you to be happy, you're miserable already. You're already miserable. You've been miserable. You've been on that misery shit. You lived on it. Okay? If you're truly grateful, you're going to be grateful about your life. You're going to be happy and joyous in your life no matter what anyone else is doing. Because there's always going to be people doing better than you. There's always going to be people doing worse than you. And a lot of people don't think, of all that they have. I was with some of my godkids this weekend, and I was just talking about how, like, I had seen this show where this guy has a car accident and then he loses all his memory. So he doesn't even remember, he's like, I don't know, 20 some years old, and he doesn't even remember how to tie his own shoes. Okay? He has to be taught everything from scratch. He has to be taught what bread is. That's how bad he had his amnesia. And his memory never returned. It's now like 20 some years later and he still doesn't remember. So the point of this is, like, there's always some shit. Life is very fragile, and whenever you think things can't get any worse, trust me, God will show you that there's a way for shit to get worse. There's almost always a way. Unless you're dead, trust me, there's a way. So this mentality, right, that in order for you to be happy, you have to have a whole bunch of shit, it doesn't matter. You can have everything in the world. If we look at a lot of celebrities have everything in the world and they still ain't happy. And they probably won't never be happy. Okay? Look at look at good old P. Diddy. Okay? Look at that whole hot mess he got going on over there. He had all the money. He had everything in the world, everything in the globe, and still, okay, he couldn't be happy. It was never enough. For somebody who sources their sense of self-value and worth and self-esteem based on what they have, nothing will ever be enough. They could have everything under the sun and it will never be enough. It's just the nature of the beast. Okay? Absolutely, crab in the barrel mentality. Absolutely. You know, my grandmother used to say, misery doesn't need any reason. Okay? Deep pity. Oh, yeah. So, there are just a lot of people that cannot be happy, and amongst the spiritual community, unfortunately, it's like very rampant because, especially like, well, pretty much everywhere, a lot of people in the spiritual community come from Christian backgrounds. And you might have left the church, but the church didn't leave you. You might have left Christianity, but it didn't leave you yet. And the way of Christianity is all about winners and losers. Who's going to go to heaven and who's going to go to hell? That's a winner-loser type situation. Spiritual workers on track with this path, we look for win, win, win. Everybody wins situation. There doesn't have to be a loser in life. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be winners and losers. We can all win. But we can't win if we're stuck within the traps of common mentality, of the matrix mentality of the world. It's an impossibility to win in that game. So that's one of the things that a lot of people have to work out, where they're constantly looking at other people like, well, this one has this, that one has that, I do this, I do that. I always tell everybody that knows me knows this, if I have or I don't have, if things are going good, if things are not going good, I'm still serving my spirits. I don't serve my spirits to have. I don't need to. I have the capacity. God gave me the ability. So I don't serve spirit to have. I serve spirit out of love. But a lot of people don't have the capacity to love. That's another big one. Another huge one. A lot of people just, why can't nobody love you? It's because very few people have the capacity to love. It's not always that there's something wrong with you. It might not be nothing wrong with you. It might be the person that you're dealing with does not have the power, the capacity to love. Everybody thinks that everybody has such capacity. Everybody does not. Such capacity is a capacity that has to be built and developed. Okay? But a lot of people think, oh, why this person, why that person, etro, lo otro, okay? It's because not everybody has the capacity. It's not always you, baby. Hola, amiga. Okay? So, thank you guys for joining me here in this live. I want to do something different next week, something special, change it up. So I'm going to be looking for that, a good topic. If you guys have any topics you'd like to hear about, make sure you post it up in the group, or hey, on one of my, put it as a comment on one of my posts, and it'll be something that I'd happily write on the list. Hi, Vicky. And I look forward to seeing you and speaking with you all again next week. I'm going to conclude this live. You're going to see me shortly in a few minutes basically come back here on live. If you speak Spanish, you're more than welcome. If you don't, you're still more than welcome to be here with me. Maybe, learn a little Spanish while we're at it. But I'm going to basically be doing this whole same live in Spanish for the most part. Since I don't script anything, I never script anything, basically because I'm just a real person. So I just call it as I see it. I don't have to script anything. Every live, every time I speak, it's going to always be something different, something else I put out there that I might not have mentioned before. So if you speak Spanish, it might be a great opportunity. If you don't, great opportunity to learn. It's a good second language. I'm just saying. I'm partial to it, though. Don't take my word for it. Alright? And love to all of you guys. And you're most welcome. Hey, love you too. And you're most welcome, and stay blessed.